My neighbors steal my mail. Neighbors was directed by Nicholas Stoller. It stars Seth Rogen, Zac Efron, Byrne, and Dave Franco, and it tells the story of a not newlywed necessarily, but they're this pretty fresh married couple. Fresh is a creepy word to describe people. They just had a baby, and then a fraternity moves into the house next to them, headed by President Zac Efron and Vice President Dave Franco, and they kind of start to butt heads. Now, I actually had some pretty high expectations for this movie because I actually heard a lot of really great things about this movie. It did great at South by Southwest Festival, and just overall I've been hearing very positive things about it, so I was pretty excited to see this. And I was a little disappointed, but not really. It was a really good movie, but it wasn't as amazing as I would have liked it to be. It went in a lot of directions that I didn't necessarily expect it to go in. It kind of just wasn't exactly the movie you would have expected. It doesn't come off as an Animal House or an Old School. It comes off more as kind of I'm blanking on the movie, but it's kind of a clash between these two people. It's prank versus prank versus prank, pretty much. I'll start out with one of my most pleasant surprises of this movie. Zac Efron is very, very funny. He's a really funny guy. I'm really glad that he's trying to push himself away from the High School Musical image and actually go for movies that he can be good in, because he was very funny in this movie. There were a lot of moments that he was really carrying. He really threw himself into this role, and I really, really commend him for it. Seth Rogen, as always, is hilarious. I mean, there are very, very few times, aside from the Green Hornet, when Seth Rogen isn't funny. And this is just another one of them, another notch on the list. But know who is hilarious that I wasn't surprised, but I wasn't expecting her to be this funny, was Byrne. She has a lot of really, really great moments. And what's great about her character, and kind of they play on this in the movie in one of the funniest scenes, is that she's not oh, you need to stop doing that, stop praying. She's not the nag. She's just as bad as Seth Rogen. They're both vicious, and they're trying to do these terrible things. And it's really funny that they're both like this. The argument that they use is Seth Rogen says, "I'm Kevin James, you have to be my nagging wife." And she's like, "I'm not Kevin, you're not Kevin James, I'm Kevin James." We can't both be Kevin James, but they are. And that's kind of what makes it really funny. It makes them work really well as a couple. They're one of the more believable movie couples I've seen in a while. Dave Franco is also pretty funny. He didn't have that much to work with. He didn't have many funny lines. He kind of was there. He was important, but he didn't have that many funny lines. So I guess Dave Franco was all right. My problem with this movie is that it wasn't as laugh out loud, hilarious as something like This Is the End. This Is the End. Every scene I was choking because I was laughing so hard. There's maybe one line in every other scene that'd be ha ha ha. And then there was a couple situations, one in particular that was absolutely hilarious and I was laughing the whole time, but it wasn't continuously funny like a lot of great comedies like Anchorman. It's not non-stop funny. And at times that does work for the movie. They actually develop these characters a lot more than most comedies do. You feel a lot for the characters, especially Zac Efron's character and the couple, because they're in very relatable frames of mind and they're very developed, and I did like that about the movie. One problem that I had is Seth Rogen and all those his buddies, you know what I'm talking about, Jonah Hill, James Franco, their movies lately have been very centered on improv. And that's been kind of a trend all throughout all these comedies lately, and it does work sometimes. A lot of times it works. Like I previously mentioned, Anchorman, it's almost non-stop improv and it's hilarious. But there were several moments in Neighbors, there's one I'm thinking of specifically, that you get so taken out of the moment because it's so clear that these two actors, or one or three actors, are just having a back and forth. There's kind of I can think of another joke. Can you? Yeah. Can you? And just back and forth. Another joke. And you're okay, get a move on. The one scene, it's not really a spoiler, is Dave Franco and Zac Efron are kind of making up. It's bros before hoes. Man purses before regular purses. And it literally goes on. Each of them says 20 things and you're a few of these are funny, but I get the point. So all in all, it's a very solid movie. It actually is pretty developed, really funny people, great acting. The script could have been a little tighter. They could have added a few more really funny moments. There are a lot of visual gags, but a lot of the funniest moments are in the trailer. So if you're one of those people that hates that, then you're not going to like this. But I did enjoy Neighbors, and I'm going to give it a B+. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.